my pancake recipe because I forget sometimes, so I have to look up my own recipes, which I think is funny. I am making my favorite pancakes, so I am using Miller's Pride flour, as we already discussed, and I know it's Canadian, so some of you won't be able to get it, but what I love about it is that it has a very clear allergy warning statement on it. This is contains wheat, may contain soybeans, mustard, I don't know how to pronounce this, triticale, rye, barley, and oats. So I always love when you see an allergy warning statement on a package because it means that they've gone through the process of actually testing for allergens. And this one's really gone above and beyond because it says more than just the top 8 or top 10 or 11 allergens. Other things that I look for is, yeah, please try it. I like this U on here as well. That tells me that it's a kosher parve, which can indicate that there's not dairy in it, and we have a dairy allergy. I like that it's bleach-free, no preservatives, non-GMO, and vitamin enriched. So this is Miller's Pride brand. I'm using the white all-purpose flour today, but they also have a great whole wheat one. So I've got a cup and a half of that in here, and I also use oil, as I mentioned before. So I'm going to be using the Omega Nutrition oil, and it says aroma free, which is kind of a weird comment, but sometimes coconut oil can be very overpowering and have a very strong coconut flavor, which some people don't like. I love coconut, but this is very mild, so I don't think it tastes like coconut. It's organic. Omega Nutrition brand, I use their apple cider vinegar as well as their flaxseed oil for my Hail to the Kale recipe, which I just love. Now, this is imported, or it's a product of Philippines, but printed in Canada, processed in Vancouver, so another Canadian brand. But whenever I'm using anything from the Philippines or any kind of international foods, I always call the company to check about nuts because I get very, very nervous. So that's something I advocate for, but I've called them and feel comfortable. We've been using this for years. We use it to make popcorn, which is just amazing. 2 tablespoons of this with half a cup of popcorn. We have a whirly pop, but you could just do it in a regular pot with some sea salt, and you don't need anything else on it. It's absolutely delicious and tastes like movie theater popcorn. I feel like I'm talking really fast because I'm saying everything twice here. What I love about this pancake recipe is that it uses a lot of baking powder, and it makes them really light and fluffy. So I like things that are very bready and fluffy. So if you do too, these pancakes end up being super thick. So I just love them. And for milk, today I'm using Rice Dream enriched vanilla flavor because that's all I have. We just got back from a week of family camp, and we brought these little portable drink boxes so that Kate could use them for cereal or for anything else that we needed. They're really great for traveling. They also have the U and Parve and are dairy free, but I do remember looking for this in the States, and I think there was something on it that might have said dairy or dairy equipment. So if you are American and you're looking for this and you have a severe dairy allergy, please just make sure that the American version is safe for you. I wouldn't want anyone to get into trouble with that. I also will put some nice vanilla powder or vanilla extract in it to give it a little nice flavor. If I remember correctly, the recipe calls for sugar, but I actually don't add the sugar because my kids put enough maple syrup that I think it's sweet enough with that, so I omit the sugar. And it is an egg-free recipe because when I originally started this recipe, Kate was allergic to eggs. So in place of an egg, the recipe calls for applesauce, which is a great egg substitute for anything sweet. I've even used it in meatloafs and things like that, but sometimes you don't want a sweet egg substitute. You might want to use something, if you're making a savory dish, you might use a flaxseed replacer or other egg replacer. But for something sweet like this with pancakes, applesauce is great. Half a banana is great too if you don't have applesauce on hand. there are many substitutes for ingredients. So basically, over all these years of having a daughter with these allergies, I've learned about substitutions, and I can take pretty much any recipe and substitute to make it safe for your allergies. So if you have a favorite recipe that you don't know how to make safe for your family, just send me a message and I can help you to know what to substitute. But Kate actually can eat eggs now, so we are going to be using an egg in this recipe today. And I know Lisbon, what's your first name? I don't know what your name is, but Lisbon J there, Lisbon, yeah, J _J was asking me about whether it was scary with Kate finding out that she could eat eggs, and it really was. She was quite young. I'll have to share that video of when she outgrew her egg allergy, but basically, and I'm apologizing that the story, oh, Liz, that makes sense. Hi, Liz. Nice to virtually meet you. So yeah, Kate was very little, and we were driving for her allergy test, and the pediatric allergist had asked me to bring a baked good that was like, I think it was this is a long time ago, so I don't even remember if it was a cake or muffins, but it was one egg in the entire batch, cooked at, I think, over 350 degrees for quite a length of time. And we brought it in, and on the way there, Kate was very excited. She said, I'm really excited, I'm gonna get to eat this. And I wanted to prepare her for the possibility that she wouldn't be able to eat it. So I said to her, honey, there's a chance that your body might still be itchy to this and you won't be able to eat it, but we're gonna try and see. And she said, no, Mommy, I know I'm gonna be able to eat it. And I said, well, how do you know that? And she said, because of the lucky bone. I wished on the lucky bone. And I had no idea what she was talking about, but as I kind of delved further, this was in the spring. She was talking about way back at Thanksgiving, which is in October here, that she had made a wish on the wishbone of the turkey that her allergies would be gone. So she went into that test very confident, and then sure enough, her skin test to egg was negative, and to the baked egg, they actually tested her with the cooked product that I brought in. And so they asked me if I would be prepared to do the food challenge with her. And honestly, the room was spinning. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I felt so afraid to feed this to her. And the doctor offered me, if you're not comfortable, we don't have to do this. And I said, no, I don't want my fear to prevent her from getting to eat this if it's safe for her. But of course I was, terrified. So they started out with a tiny, tiny amount and just put it in her mouth. And then they waited for 20 minutes and she gradually ate more and more. I think we were there for probably 3 hours. And she ate it. She was able to eat it. And so she was ecstatic, and I cried. It's just such an amazing moment. And then we were able to eat more things. Yeah, it was amazing. We were able to eat more things with cooked egg, with more eggs, so not just one per whole batch, but we could have a greater amount of egg, and we were able to reduce the cooking time and temperature to eventually be able to have things like our pancakes today that are just cooked on the stove top as opposed to in the oven. And yeah, but I had an egg allergy as a child, and my son, who's never had an egg allergy, he complains often when I make eggs. We eat a lot of eggs because I want to keep her desensitized to it, but so I make them very regularly, and I think they're healthy when you're not allergic. But sometimes both of my kids will complain that they feel sick to their stomach. Yeah, it's so crazy. And it's just what you hope for. And I always tell Kate to keep hoping. There's always hope. There's always hope. And her doctor said to her once when she was around 8 that now it was getting a little bit too late for her to outgrow her dairy allergy. And she was really devastated by that. And I felt very upset that they had taken that hope away from her. But I posted about it on my social media at the time, and a lot of people responded saying actually their kids had outgrown them in the teen years. So I was able to go back to Kate and say, look at this, like these people, their children were 15, 16 years old. So there is hope for you to outgrow your dairy allergy and all your other allergies. So we always want to hold on to hope. Yeah, so back to the eggs though, my kids will feel sick sometimes, they say. They feel gross after they eat eggs, but we want to keep eating them so that they're desensitized and they don't revert back, well, for Kate especially, it doesn't revert back to being allergic. So a lot of children who have been desensitized to eggs, so they've been working in an OIT kind of program, they report that they might feel that way, but I guess it's a trade-off of wanting to not have an anaphylactic reaction, not having to worry of accidental cross-contamination or ingestion, and having an anaphylactic reaction. You outweigh that with the pain of having to eat something that maybe your body doesn't love. So it's a bit of a catch-22, but we want to keep our kids from having those anaphylactic reactions. So what else is going into my pancakes? The kids had asked me today for a treat if we could have chocolate chip pancakes. So we are having Enjoy Life, which I'm sure most of you, if you have allergies, are familiar with. Oh my gosh, they smell so good. And these are free of the top allergens. They are a lifesaver. They have made all the difference in our life. We went to Disney when my kids were quite little. Kate was 2, and we went to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party in the Magic Kingdom, where you could actually go trick-or-treating in Disney in the Magic Kingdom and go to Mickey and Minnie's house and everybody's houses. And when we arrived, they had told me to go to City Hall. I notified them I was traveling with a child with these food allergies, and they said, okay, come meet us at City Hall and we'll help you out. And I wasn't really sure what to expect. And all of you allergy moms, like I have goosebumps because it was just so magical being there, how they accommodated her allergies. And when we got to the City Hall, they had a huge bag of candy and chocolate that was safe to her. And we had never given her chocolate before at that point. She was almost 3 at the time. Maybe she was 3. No, I think she had just turned 3. So anyways, she could have their Enjoy Life chocolate bars. They had the one with the Rice Krispies and all the other kinds, and it was just amazing. So we're gonna put a few of these chocolate chips in our pancakes as well. So I've posted the old school version screenshot in my feed if you're interested to try it. If any of the ingredients don't work for you, just send me a message and I'll let you know how to substitute them. And if you do try it, please let me know how you like them. Thanks and have a great Sunday. Bye.